Couple to Srength. We're back. Well, let's start off. We just wanted to wish your brother Paul a happy birthday, happy 30th. I'm a couple months
30.
behind him. He said he feels different.
So I called him this morning to say, well, I called him last night at 12:01 because every year we call each other at that time. Didn't pick up, and he replied this morning with, "I'm old. We go to bed at 8 p.m." But he says he feels different because usually I don't really feel much different each birthday. We're just getting older. But his comeback was, it's a whole different age bracket. I'm not going to be 20 anymore. I'm old. And I basically responded with, I have 4 more years. He's like, that's a lifetime. Enjoy it. He's a hater, but he's great. He's going to go see Neil deGrasse tomorrow, which is really freaking cool for his birthday. And he's probably going to go to all the restaurants that give free meals to birthday. If it's your birthday, you got a free meal, he'll probably be there.
Yeah, that's been his tradition.
Yeah.
Anyways, we wish you luck. Good luck, Paul.
Love you.
It was funny you brought up Neil deGrasse Tyson. I sent to me, Joe, John, and Alan. They're all on an Instagram thing. So I sent them a meme. It was about what happens when 2 stars collide. And it's like a real dark thread that we like to keep. And I sent it, and I said, we don't matter. And they were all, everybody sent a heart. And I was like, same page, good. So maybe, I don't know if that kind of leads into what we want to talk about or not, but perspective and expectations. So there's a good, and maybe we can link to it, I think, if
With
we make this an
Aubrey's?
article. Yeah, no, not with Aubrey's. Aubrey's was really good. But there's another one from a Google exec, and he talks about how his, basically, I'm going to butcher this, but basically, we have these expectations. When reality doesn't meet those expectations, we're sad or unhappy or whatever. And it all boils down to perspective and changing those expectations. And I won't get into it. We'll link to it. I think it'll be really good. I'd rather have you watch it and enjoy it than have me
Butcher it.
just shit all over
You're
it.
doing okay though.
So kind of we had a conversation the other day, and like we talked about before, we've had some issues, like the wind kicking up. We've had some issues, and we're working through them. And she turned to me the other day, and she's like, "Hey, I love where we're at. Let's keep moving forward. This is great." And less than 24 hours later, you were upset again. And
One thing I am doing
Go ahead.
better with is being honest, and if there's an issue, I tell him right away. So yesterday I was benching, and he goes, "What's wrong?" And I was like, "I feel like I'm gonna get in a bad mood because I'm thinking of just things that
XYZ,
happened, whatever it is."
just reminders that brought you back to what upset you before, and
Right.
some of the issues we had.
So-
and you want me to go?
Yeah.
I flat out told you. I let you be. You came to me with what the problem was, which is great, because normally you would stew on it, and I would feel bad, and it was a real negative situation, a toxic
And we talked through it.
situation.
We talked through it.
And as we were walking out, we actually walked. The gym's right behind us. We walked her over to her car, which I was happy you asked me to, because I was going to anyway. And I was like, cool, we get to talk about this. And
Yeah.
essentially, I told her, I said, look, you came to me yesterday and you said, I'm ready to move past this. We're great. Everything is good. And you expected to never feel that feeling again. And that's just not that's not realistic. It's going to come up.
Right.
I said the expectation should be, I feel great. I expect this emotion or some emotion to come up about this and not make me feel great, but I'll be prepared for that, and I can.
So it's just a
process
matter
it
of
and move
shifting
forward.
my approach rather than like, okay, we're doing great, so let's just move forward and forget about all the bullshit that happened, and then let's just be happy, basically. And then obviously things that came up and triggered that like emotion I didn't want to feel, and I was upset and I didn't know how to handle it. And then I got even more upset because I was like, well, I gave him my word that I would be past it, and now I'm back to being mad.
And I didn't get mad at you. I didn't say, well, you said, and that's not what you do.
Yeah.
It's not, she's already feeling bad, and I'm feeling bad because she's feeling bad. So I'm not going to attack her and say, but you said,
Right.
something she said and she felt at the time. So I can't be mad about it. That's not okay.
I mean, and both parties have to be where we're at, because let's say I got upset, like I was in that mood, and then you basically said, well, you told me not to feel that way. Just imagine that you reacted that way.
Sure.
So I think it's important for the other person to be more understanding and more patient, and he's been doing amazing with that. And I think we've both been doing amazing with just issues that is brought up with him, and and I'm trying to be understanding and patient, and vice versa. So that helped a lot with me feeling better and being okay with whatever I was feeling,
Right.
and then moving forward from that point.
Yeah, and I think the general rule of thumb that I've learned is you cannot tell your partner that they're wrong for being mad or sad or upset or whatever that emotion is. You can't tell them that's how they feel. You may disagree as to why they feel that way. Maybe you think they shouldn't feel that way. But you have to respect the fact that they're upset in whatever form that may be. So just accepting that and give them a hug and say, hey, cool.
I'm here for you.
I understand you're upset. Maybe pick a time to come back and revisit it, or maybe it's the time to talk then, and let them know. Just lay it out. Here's why I don't think you should feel that way. I can understand why you feel that way, or I disagree, but whatever.
What do we need to do to make it work?
Yeah, and we've come to the conclusion in some cases that at the wedding, right? I'm not going to dance. I may dance one time, but you understood where I was coming from. I understood where you were coming from, and it's not the perfect compromise, but I think it'll work, and that's okay. There's not a perfect solution to every problem. Sometimes you just have to kind of take your lumps, and we have a wedding this weekend, and we'll see how it goes.
I'm hoping he dances.
Leading into that, we're headed to Geneva, New York for a wedding. My good friend Kyle Boline from college. Kyle has a massive butt chin. That's how she remembers him.
If he sees this, I'm sorry.
I'm going to tag him in it so I know he sees it. He calls me Dubby, so he'll say, oh, thanks, Dubby. Yes, we're headed to Geneva, New York for a Friday wedding. We are driving another 6 hours back to Columbus for the Business Summit. Really excited about that. I know Joe DeFranco is speaking. I think JL is speaking. Dave is speaking. There are a handful of other really good guys. I just don't know off the top of my head. I just remember hearing from those guys in the past, so that's why they kind of stick out to me. I'm excited as a business owner to learn from them, and I think regardless, any of those, I've been to plenty of I've been to sales training for corporate America that I had more takeaways from my personal life than I did for sales and business. And John Casey's the guy's name, Too Logical. He's amazing. His group's great.
You told me about him.
Yeah, he's great. Just looking forward to learning something new. We get to train at the S4 on Sunday for the last time ever.
Yeah,
They're closing the doors, so I may or may not have something special planned. Who knows? What else?
What does that mean?
Nothing. A special squat session.
Really? I'm deadlifting. No, I'm squatting. I'm just kidding. That's it. And then we're headed back home after that.
Headed back home to see the dogs.
Mom's taking care of the dogs. She's an angel. So
Our dogs are angels.
our dogs are angels.